Hey guys, it's Jane. Well, here we are. The kids are back in school. It's Friday. I'm back for an old school Friday reads. Um, I am planning on doing a second half of January wrap up. I should have done that in the last couple of days, but I haven't had time, and I don't have time today, but it is coming. The reason I haven't had time over the last couple of days is that I scored a job, like a paying gig. I think it's over now, so life is settling back into, normalcy. But I need to tell you about this because it's a joke that I've been making for years that I just need to find somebody who will pay me to read books. And my life ambition came true. On the weekend, I was at a party, and one of the people there is a woman that I know who's a book editor. And she came up and said, look, there's this guy I know who's starting up a new fantasy imprint, and he's looking for somebody to read manuscripts. And would you be interested? And can I give him your contact details? Anyway, during the week, we got in touch. He sent me a book, I read it, and now he's paying me. I don't know if this is going to be any repeat business associated with this. I can't tell you anything about the book. I don't even know if it's going to get published. But it was just a weird thing that happened this week. So yeah, so that's one of the things that I've read this week. The unnamed, uncorrected manuscript. And before I get into anything else that I'm going to talk about, I just wanted to remind everybody that it's BooktubeSFF Awards season. The nominations have just started. The nominations close on Valentine's Day, middle of the month. So it's time to start thinking about what your favourite science fiction or fantasy reads over the last 12 months were. It has to actually have been published in 2016, otherwise, anything could go anywhere and we can't be having that. I'll link to some of the announcement videos and the nomination form and the Tumblr and the Goodreads page and everything below. But the thing about this is it works best if everybody has their say. So even if you've only read one or two, if there was one that you thought that was really good, go and nominate it. Go on. Once the nominations have closed, they sort out the most nominated in each category, and then we all get together and read them and talk about them and whatever, and then there's the vote, and it's all thrilling and exciting. So get involved with the BooktubeSFF awards. Okay, as far as my reading goes, the funnest thing that I read in the last little while was The War for the Oaks, which is an urban fantasy book written in the 80s. It's just been republished. Catherine, formerly of The Android's Conundrum, she's closed her BookTube channel, at least for the present, but she on Twitter listed her favourite reads from last year, and I've been working through that list, and one of the books that she had was something I'd never heard of, The War for the Oaks. And it was fantastic. It's a really fun, very early urban fantasy with a rock and roll kind of backdrop in Minneapolis. And I enjoyed that. And it's an author I'd never heard before. And so I went after that and looked up to see what else Emma Bull had written. And I came across this series called The Shadow Unit, which is, there is a series of books, but it's more than that. There's actually this website, and it's not just Emma Bull, it's Elizabeth Bear and a range of other writers. Emma Bull came up with this TV show. She got a few writer friends together and they wrote the Bible for the TV series. And so there's this entire imaginary TV series. And there's now something like a dozen books that each have about 4 episodes of the TV series in them. Plus there's all sorts of little extra bits and pieces. A number of the characters from the stories have their own live journal pages, and you can like interact with the characters online and stuff. It's a really fun project. I'm not 100% certain if it's still live or whether they've finished up with it. It started a few years ago now, and I'm not sure if it's still running. But I picked up the first one of these. I bought it as an ebook for like $1.30 or something. So, you can't say fairer than that. And I've read the first one and a bit episodes, and it's fantastic. It's this sort of paranormal FBI group. So it's somewhere between the X-Files and The Man from U.N.C.L.E., something like that. They're kind of monster hunters, sort of, within the FBI, and there's all the different personalities and backstories of the characters, and then there's the sort of the monster of the week. It seems to be what it is, and I'm really enjoying it. So that's what I'm reading at the moment. I've also, from the library, got a copy of The Six Gun Tarot, which is a book that I never read, that there was a lot of talk about a couple of years ago, and I just saw it at the library and I picked that up. And I also have Xavier Herbert's Capriconia, which is an Australian classic that I've been meaning to have a look at, and we'll see if I get around to that this week. Anyway, I hope you're all well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.